Hi everyone, it is 12:41 in the afternoon on the 8th of January 2023. I've now been making videos every day for a year and 10 days, so very excited. Another thing I'm very excited about is that I noticed yesterday I have 7 new subscribers, so thank you so much all of you. It really does make me really happy when I see that, you know, people are following along and watching. So yeah, that's awesome. Thanks everyone. If you are new to my channel, I make videos every day. I talk about basically everything and anything that's going on in my life, what's going on in my mind, how my physical and mental disabilities are affecting me or how I'm managing them, and basically everything in between. So I make my videos as if I'm talking to you all as you're right in front of me, and I upload my videos immediately without viewing them first. This to me keeps them as authentic as they possibly can be, because I am never the first person to actually see them. So I did watch last night's one back, obviously after it had been online for a bit, yeah? And I think there was a few things that came up for me. One is that I'm always going to make these videos, all right? So I'm going to just say that, like, that's a given. I am in a really, really good place in my life, and it's amazing, and just it's the word coming to mind is overwhelming, but that doesn't sound right even to me, because it's so foreign and new, because I am a very spiritual person. I went through the beginning of my awakening around 7 years ago or so 2015. It's hard to explain without explaining the whole thing, and that would take pages and pages of writing or hours of videoing to try and get it to make sense. Boss is like keenly looking out the window at everyone. Anyway, so I guess I will say that I've known my whole life I have certain abilities. I'm very intuitive. I can tell when people are not really saying the things that they're meaning, and I guess based on the fact that, you know, society doesn't approve or calls all of this pseudoscience and things like that. As a child, I just pushed it down and pretended it didn't happen. I did that as an adult too, I would say, up until the fact that everything came to a head when I met Mr. X. Now, I'm not even going to discuss him right now, except to say, my God, are my dreams getting even more fucking weird, and I'm starting to think I really should start keeping a dream diary, but that's a whole nother thing. And I've been thinking about this, like I guess the reason I'm okay, let me try this again. I'm always going to make these videos because, if for nothing else, they help me stay accountable to myself, yeah? I was thinking about it before, and I was having some food, and I was like, people probably aren't going to want to just watch me talking about my day and being all happy and la-di-da, right? Very cool. That's easy enough to know. If you like who I am as a person and you just like watching along, awesome. That's awesome for me. But there are other things playing into why I do this. So I don't always have something wonderful to teach you all. Like yesterday and the day before, so to speak, I guess I'm wanting to reiterate, that's not how you say that word, but I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm trying to say, that hopefully, based on the fact that I have this ability to turn my camera on, speak to you all, and then upload my videos as is without even viewing them first, if nothing else, I hope it helps people to really know that being your true, authentic self is what's most important. It is the most important thing in this world, as far as I'm concerned. There are many, many, many things in this world that needs to change. I 100% believe that I am a change maker. I'm here to help with that change. I am spiritual, as I've said. So my awakening did start, let's say, 8 years ago. and then really came to a head in 2016 when I was like, okay, there is something much, much bigger than me happening. Actually, I realized that in 2015, now that I think about it. And that's when I started putting into play a plan to get me to where I needed to be to help people. It's no secret to those of you who follow my channel or know me in person, I smoked ice for a long time, and the beginning of this journey started with me needing to stop. So I put a plan into place and was able to do that, mind over matter, by myself. And I do believe that one day the way I was able to do it will help me help others. Now, at the moment, I'm just figuring out myself, right? And today is an interesting day, and that's why I wanted to make my video now, before I get into my schoolwork, because I'm not totally sure why today went the way it did, and that's why I'm going to talk about it. I am going to stress, though, that I really am in a good place, and I am, like, the only thing I can think of is that these lessons are going to keep happening until I know that I'm 100% good within myself. So I've been the person who is so quick to anger within me at myself if I portray myself as doing something wrong. So, for example, today, what I'm going to discuss in the past would have been something I would discuss or would have recognized as doing something wrong. Yeah. And it really, really does sort of smack you in the head once you get to the point I'm in, where it's like, how the hell are you helping yourself? Yeah. So I've been saying now for a while, I don't set alarms, okay? Because setting alarms is pointless. I don't hear them. I sleep through them. It almost has the opposite effect of what I need. Whereas Boss is my natural alarm clock, and he usually wakes me up at around about 8:30 in the morning, which is perfect. Last night was different. He woke me up so many times. I was just like, what are you doing to me? And after the video I'd made last night, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I didn't have it within me to keep studying because it was just so hot. It is now 12:49 in the afternoon, and I've put my air conditioning on, and thankfully it's just beautiful. So that's good. And I definitely didn't have the energy to do much. When it gets to 30 degrees, and like I said, I hadn't turned my air conditioning on yesterday, and by the time I thought of doing it, it wasn't really, there wasn't really any point. So in the end, I ended up just there's my boy. In the end, I ended up spending a couple of hours continuing to trim my plant. I wanted to make a video, but YouTube says I'm not allowed to unless I make them R18, and I don't really particularly want to be putting restrictions on my videos. The only thing that I state when I upload my videos is that they're not for children, but they're not restricted either, and I do put content warnings on my videos that could be potentially triggering to others. So anyway, I am prescribed legal cannabis. I am very open about that. Obviously, my doctors, my support team, everybody is aware of my past. Thankfully, they're also aware that you actually can be an addiction, and the whole once an addict, always an addict is utter bullshit. And I really want to stress that this is no disrespect to anyone anywhere, but the underlying methods of those teachings don't make any sense if you really truly go into them. Not something I am going to do now. But my point being is I am legally prescribed it, and as soon as that became a legal thing for me, and I have all the documentation and everything, it's all sent to me from pharmacists and whatnot, I decided to keep myself in supply by growing. And it's a lot harder work than I would have ever imagined. So much more to it, yeah? I sure as hell won't be doing it again anytime soon. And so the last one I did is definitely what I would say the best one I've ever grown, even though I still seriously messed it up, right? So that's saying something, I really feel. On a side note, I'm not good at plants at all. Even with every single thing ready to go, I still just stuffed it up, but it's the biggest and the most sort of abundant one I've got. And because of that, it means that it's hours and hours and hours of work to trim. And how much, like I've spent, I remember I watched the Jurassic World, whatever it is, on Netflix when I did it the other time. And then last night I tried to watch the tennis because I told the man that I play tennis with that I'd start watching the sport so that I could start refreshing myself, because obviously I'm playing tennis. It did not last long because I was like, I can only hear it, not really paying enough attention. And in the end, I just flicked over to something on Netflix I'd already seen and didn't really need to be paying too much attention to. Anyway, I went to sleep at 10. And I remember even saying in the video, I'm pretty sure I said it in my video yesterday, that I really need to reset my schedule because I like getting up earlier in the morning and going to sleep earlier at night. That's who I am. It's what I like to do, yeah? Especially since I'm prescribed Ritalin and I'm prescribed 5 a day, yeah? That's a lot of Ritalin, yeah? And the later I take my last one, the later I sleep. So it's a very fine line of juggling everything to not fuck shit up, right? So this is where it comes to today, yeah? Oh, I'm laughing at myself, which is good because at least I'm not crying and get mad. But boss woke me up, like I said, many times. Now, I do have a dog door. It's a massive fucking dog door, but I like to keep it shut at night. And not only for the fact that he usually just goes out to pee before we go to sleep, and he's got like the best bladder I've ever seen in any kind of being. But he started eating his dinner, like really annoying me. Like I try to give him breakfast, I try to give him dinner. He just does his own thing. He's definitely not one of those dogs who just eats whatever's in front of him. He just leaves his stuff until whenever he's ready for it. And that can sometimes cause stuff to go stale. So I put it away and then he wakes me up wanting dinner. Anyway, I'm sure you can probably tell my dog is quite spoiled, yeah? Now, last night, like I said, I was in bed and I remember turning everything off, putting my meditations, like sleep meditation on, sleep with one of those eye mask things, and it was all good. And I was like right in that, about to like hit the deep sleep when he started fucking around wanting his food. So I got up, let him out, did all that stuff. Cool. 2:30, he did it again. I was like, what are you doing to me, boss? Now that was all well and good. The next time he woke me up, however, was about 5:25 in the morning. Now by this point, and I've only sort of really registered this today, I actually had more sleep than I obviously clicked to at that point in the morning. Now, if you've followed my stuff along for a while and you watch my actual, hold on, let me think that through. If you watch my videos as well as read my blogs and stuff and my pictures on my actual website, which is lifesastory.blog, you will know that I write things all over the walls of the house that I live in, yeah? And the reason I do that is because I can, one, because this house is going to be knocked down. The house is never going to be able to be like legitimate, like, how do I say it to people? I get to live here because I'm okay with the standards, and I've been here 5 years, yeah, and I pay for all the maintenance and anything that needs to be done and whatnot, right? And because of that, I thought, instead of wasting paper and sticking stuff on the walls, I'd just start writing directly onto the walls. So in my toilet, there's this big thing I've written, and it says something along the lines of, if it's after 5 a.m, you must stay up. Stay up. Take your meds, have a coffee, and stay up, because there is so much for you to do. And I've, throughout the time since writing it, added more notes to it, adding things like, actually do this, Olivia. You know, do the things that you say you're going to do, and all those wonderful things, yeah? And this morning when Boz woke me up, I went to the bathroom and I actively refused to look at the wall. I was like, I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it, which is ridiculous because I wrote it, so I know what it says. And at this point, I'm like questioning, how do I feel? Maybe I should just get up. I need to reset my clock, and this would be the perfect time, right? And this is where the little like internal comes in. And it wasn't me having an argument with myself. Like I've said, I'm just cruising on through at the moment. I live with so many different disabilities that I really am focusing on just being the nicest I possibly can to myself. But even once I'd let Boss back in, I got back in bed, whatever it was, I put my sleep mask back on, and I remember, and I will say I need to get a new one, because whatever the one I've been using, I don't have any idea where I got it or any of that stuff. I just remember finding it in my sex box, which, again, if you're new, big box under my bed full of thousands of dollars worth of sex toys, yeah? And thinking, oh, I might try using that. And I actually prefer sleeping with one. But this morning, I put it back on, and I lay there, and I was like, I think I'm awake. Am I awake? I think I might be awake. And then the other part of me was like, no, it's too early. And then I'm having this like internal dialogue within myself going, it clearly says if you're up past 5, you need to get up. You gave yourself that advice. And I was going to say rule, but as soon as you start giving rules to yourself, I find that our egos, our lower vibrational parts, will just immediately start counteracting them, yeah? Hence the alarm thing. Like, I've tried and tried and tried. Like I said, today is 1 year and 10 days of making these videos in a row, and it's a year's worth of almost fucking trying to get up to an alarm. It doesn't help me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. So, and I will clarify to say, these disabilities I live with, I am on disability, yeah? So another reason I do what I do is because it's really difficult when people just assume that people have, when they have disabilities, that it shows, because it doesn't. Everybody I meet believes that I'm fine, and they couldn't, like, no, blah, blah. Let's start that again. Most people find it really difficult to believe how disabled I actually am based on how I look and sound, right? And I mean, how other people think about me is irrelevant. I'm sure we can all agree that I really couldn't care less, given, as I've said, I'm at 9-10 minutes of talking to you and me, and this will all go up online, and I probably won't watch this video until tonight, because once I'm done, I have plenty to do. Anyway, so back to my story. I'm lying in my bed, it's around 5:30, and I'm lying there with my eyes sort of half open, half shut, under the mask. And I'm having this, as I said, this little like conversation with myself, eh? And I'm like, just get up. And then I'm like, no. And I'm sure we can see where this is going, yeah? So I am finding it somewhat like, so I mean, this, and again, this is where life gets even more confusing for in the life of Liv. I believe that free will and determinism is running along side by side, coexistingly. It's just that that's a very big philosophical argument that I really have absolutely no idea how to explain to anybody right now, so I'm not going to even try. I am going to make a side note, though, and say I fucking love these things. The woman at the store, she's awesome. Yeah, look how good that looks. And now I can see better, so go figure. So, I did not get up at 5:30 is the wonderful little, like, end to this part of the story. That's not an end. We've got a bit to go, yeah? So I was like, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep. It's Sunday. I think that's how I justified it in my mind. I was like, it's Sunday. It's going to be 30 fucking boiling degrees. Like, who cares, you know? And then I do find it funny because, in all fairness to Boss, he really tried today, eh? And even though I've literally just spent how long saying that I don't set alarms, I've now just recalled that because I went back to sleep at around the 5:30 mark, I was like, I'm basically awake, right? But I don't really want to get up. Like, it was still dark out. And then I was like, okay, I'll set an alarm for 7:30. That's a really good compromise, I thought, yeah? Dumb. It was dumb, because that didn't work. Obviously, I woke up to missed alarms, yeah? And then Boss tried to wake me up at 8:30. Then again at 9:30, I think. And I was just like, no. And I actually, I woke up properly, I think, at around 11:30. And then I lay in bed reading the news on my phone until 12. It's only just gone 1:03 in the afternoon. And since sort of like waking up, I've been sort of questioning myself as to why I didn't get up. And I'm going to have to watch this back because, like I said, it was an internal dialogue. Now, if I was to repeat today, I would have 100% gotten up. Now, like I said at the start of this, I believe we're all going through lessons and we go through the same ones over and over again until we actually get to where we need to be. Now, this whole getting up when as I said, if we were to rewind, and let's face it, I film so much stuff these days, I could probably find many videos simply talking about me not getting up when I needed to get up and getting angry at myself. And I'm putting this sort of down to the whole, I didn't get up and it's okay. And even though I could have had all of those hours doing schoolwork, washing, cleaning, fucking vacuuming, and all the fun things that go with it, I didn't. And getting mad at myself is literally not going to change one single thing. It's just taken 37 years to get there, to realize this, to understand that it's okay. And I've also realized a few things too watching back some of my videos, right? Because as I've said, I do not watch these before they go up, okay? I'm not going to put, I don't even know how to explain it. It's not like people say to me, oh my God, you're so brave. Like, how can you do that? And it's like, because I know who I am. And I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm actually fucking incredibly proud of who I am. My past, your past, none of our past define us, all right? What we do in the now, what we're doing in this moment is all that really matters, okay? Obviously, I have done things in my past that I wish I could take back. I don't really have what I would call a lot of regrets simply because I have spent years and years working on forgiveness. Now, forgiveness, unconditional love, there are many things that I believe in life can change the world we live in. And that is why I do this, because there is literally nothing any of you can say to me that I haven't already heard inside my own mind. So if you are someone like me, right? Now, I've had severe suicide ideation for as long as I can possibly remember. So those thoughts that people have and I've had, they're going to trump anything and everything that others can say. And the reason I do this is because I want you all to know it's okay to be you, who you are as a person, without the masks, without the worrying about society, without worrying about what the next person is thinking or doing. You who you are, you're amazing. And I need you all to know that. And I feel like the fact that I can make these the way that I do and share everything I do with you all really proves that I believe that. Because like I said, it's not just that I don't edit things. That would be one thing, yeah? And I don't know enough about technology to actually understand if there are ways to prove all of this. I imagine there would be ways to prove all of this. Not in my knowledge library, but that's okay. See, my laptop's connected to the second screen by this cord, and if I move things slightly the wrong way, then shit stops working, and I'm like, oh my god, but I gotta always make sure the little blue microphone is blue, because I've made videos before that haven't actually worked, and that's really frustrating, especially when I'm about to hit 27 minutes. So, what was I saying? So, yeah, not editing my videos would be one thing, alright? Not viewing my videos, on the other hand, is a whole different thing, in my opinion. And in all fairness, is what I'm told. Especially since I am now at that point where I truly do want to document everything. So, I have the most amazing psychologist. Abel, if you see this, you are right. She is amazing. She's just one of the nicest, most amazing people I've ever met, and very, very helpful. Though I will say on that, I will be questioning her as to why she continues to say that I don't like change when that's the exact opposite. So that one's doing my head in just a little bit, but because it's like not something I can discuss with her until I see her, it's not doing my head in enough, yeah? But I will be questioning her because they're like change, evolving, growing is literally what I'm about. So I don't know why she says that. But anyway, that's a side thing. But back to today, right? So it is hot. And the only thing I guess that I would have done if I had got up, say, at 5:30 this morning is walk my dog, because Boss does need to be walked and it is just far too hot, right? And that's okay. I don't know what the weather's going to be for the rest of the week, but we'll get there. Let's have a look, shall we? So, well, it's not nearly as hot as they said it was going to be so far. That's not bad. All right, so it currently feels like it's 27 degrees here in Melbourne, and it's dropping tomorrow, and then it's going to drop. So we got 26 on Melbourne, 22 on Tuesday, and then, and then fucking Wednesday onwards, it's 28, 29, 30, 33. Blech. But that's okay. Thankfully, I have air conditioning. And like I said, I am on disability. I'm a uni student, slowly but surely working my way through my degree. I have the end of the unit I'm doing now. And my exam is on Valentine's Day, so that's funny, I think. The 14th of Feb is my exam day, if you all want to just send me light and love and peaceful thoughts. And that'll be obviously the end of that. New trimester starts in March. And I've got, yeah, like I said, this one in T1 and one in T2, and I'm done. And I'm so ecstatically happy and looking forward to that. I spent years feeling like I should be guilty or ashamed of the fact that I'm on disability at my age. And that's absolute bullshit, because no one should feel ashamed or guilty because they've been dealt a hand in life that makes them unable to do what the common society fucking layout we're all given. You know, go to school, go to uni, get a good job, get married, buy a house, have kids, blah, 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 whatever it is. Like, the amount of things that are taught to us, just tradition after tradition, you know, like generation after generation, is so unbelievably fucking dumb in my mind. There are many, many things that I believe need to change, and I guess because of the fact that I'm so open about the ice smoking, because I want to bring awareness to the fact that I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I'm ashamed of some of the things I said while I was on it, but I really do believe we're doing the best we can in any given moment, and it was the same for me back then. Based on the information I had, based on what was happening in my life, I can't see me doing it any differently, if I'm honest. And it comes back to that whole butterfly effect, right? So, you know, we can't go back and just change one thing. It doesn't work like that. That's why I'm never going to be one of the what ifs, what if this, what if that, what if whatever, you know, because it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't. But I really want to help people in any way that I can. And I guess a big part of why I originally went to university and have done all the training I have, and believe you me, I have done so much training when it comes to helping other people. Like, I'm qualified as an AOD worker. I'm almost finished my undergrad degree in psychology and philosophy. I have literally paid to be trained to work for free at the National Hotline Suicide. Nationals, you know, like in Australia. I don't do that anymore, I will clarify. I've been a support worker, peer support worker, mental health. I'm trained in, you know, like I said, I've got stacks of certificates that I'm trained in. I remember I was uploading them to a particular website when I was looking for like local support work, which I've decided to pull back from. But I think I had like 15 different certificates to upload to prove that I'm extremely qualified in the area. And yeah, like I said, last night it hit me watching myself back, and I was like, oh, it's awesome that I'm like really happy and like loving life, but that doesn't really help anyone if I don't explain how I'm getting to these points. And I guess that's where we're going to learn together, right? Because I have tried, believe you me, I have tried to make videos where I have actually written down notes for myself and gotten points and done all this stuff to make like a professional video, and it doesn't work for me. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I'm really hoping I learn, because I own 2 domains. So the website and the YouTube channel you'll be watching me on for this video is at Life's a Story blog, so that's the handle at YouTube. My actual website is lifesastory.blog. But I've had 2 websites and 2 domains for almost a year now. So I have spoken to the people with the that I run the platform for my websites, yeah? And I have set it up so that the domain for my second website will always just like renew itself, yeah? So the website will always be mine. Regardless of the fact that it's, if you were to type in my second domain, which I'm not ready to share yet, it would just say new site coming, right? So on saying that, I had planned to use that particular website for professional teachings, and that I could sort of correlate back to, say, the peer support storytelling I do with the peer support company I'm a part of, which is the original reason I purchased the second one, because I was not willing to share any of this with anyone in a professional setting at the time, because it was so new, and I guess I was finding my feet. I have since shared this with my storytelling company. They were just like, it's all good. I don't do this for, like, to me, it should be apparent, but it might not be. But, like, I make these videos for many reasons, as I've said. But first and foremost, it's me coming from a place of love and trying to help others see a window, like, see through a window into the world of someone new. Like, we go to places, we walk past people, you know, I used to be that person, I'm still that person, let's face it, who will go and buy a coffee and sit down and just people watch, and it's fascinating. People are fascinating to me, and that's probably why I'm doing a psych degree. But above and beyond that, the big picture is even more fascinating to me, and that's why I am, and have said, and always will say, I'm a philosopher at heart. Now, the big picture side of stuff, I know things need to change. I'm one of many who's here on earth going, this is absolute bullshit. We need to fix things, So there's that. But with my second domain and website, it's actually funny because Graham and I were talking about it on my birthday, right? And like I said, I'd planned on doing these very professional videos that I could share with people in a professional setting, right? Because the websites I pay for are, like, I pay for a premium, gosh, it would be so funny if someone really did go through and get all the bloopers from their videos. If I was tech savvy, I'd do it myself, but I'm not. So anyway, right, what am I saying? We came up with this idea. Now, I have no idea how many people watch all the way through this, okay? Now, I've realized with my professional website, which is nothing, literally, as it stands, that I may struggle, as I've said, because I have tried to make videos before that aren't off the cuff like this. Like, when I sit down and start talking, like, I'm at 38 minutes and 8 seconds, and I've just talked to you, right? And I remember when we caught up for my 6 years off ice in July with my storytelling group, and Grant, and one of them was like, oh, I've seen one of Liv's videos, it was 13 minutes and she just talks all the way through, and everyone was just like, how do you do this? And I'm like, have you met me? Like, how do I not do this? Like, there's a reason that public speaking in a big arena sort of size place is what I dream of. It's not even what I dream of, it's what I think will happen. And I was, my foot's so gone to sleep, guys. It's what I just know will happen, in the sense of, like, I don't have enough brain power to, like, think shit through, like, when I've got other stuff happening and my foot is numb. So I probably shouldn't cross it again. Hey, well. So anyway, where was I? I'm back to crossing my legs like a silly woman. So, every time I've tried to make a professional video, I just become so self-conscious. I just stop, right? Now, I've learned to pause these if I need to, but I don't ever like start making a video, fuck shit up, and then stop it and restart it again, because that would completely null and void the purpose of these videos, which is to be me, authentically myself, and share everything, including all the bloody fuck ups with my inability to talk properly, which is not missed by me, and how ridiculous it is that I truly do think one day I'll get to be on a stage talking to people. And I'm going to keep clarifying, at no point have I ever said we're talking about TED Talks. Now, I'm not saying I'm against TED Talks. That may happen, I don't know, but that is not what I'm referring to. Anyway, so this domain though, I've been trying to decide if I would talk about it or not, but it's like really in the forefront of my mind. And even as I'm saying it, I'm like, do I bring it up or do I just let it go? So because of the fact that I said it to my group for my proper professional storytelling, I need to be able to figure out just very concise parts of my story that I can memorize for when meeting new clients, meeting new this, meeting whatever, right? Because it is very apparent to everybody, including myself now. Believe you me, I was the last person to get clued in, but it's very apparent now that I am not good when it comes to the professional side of stuff and wrapping shit up and being concise. I mean, we're at 41 minutes and 38 seconds. I really feel like that probably proves that, yeah? But I guess now that I'm actually talking about it out loud, the more I think about what I originally wanted to do with that website, the more I'm like, there are so many websites like it by people who are way more professional than me. And I'm not talking that I can't be professional, because I obviously can. It's just I don't believe I'm here to do something completely conventional, which is why I've realized after 6 years of being very fucking confused that psychology is not for me in the long run, because I really would not want to be a psychologist. I would not want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I've been breaking myself for so long, confused by that stuff, yeah? Whereas philosophy is why I went to uni, and I needed a second major. And it's just really coming back at me more and more and more. There are already all these amazing people in the world who are doing things like that, that I'm not really going to make any difference, you know? That's not what I'm here for. I'm fairly certain I'm here to experience as much of bullshit as fucking humanly possible, so that I can relate to as many people as I can, so that I can take my bullshit and use it to help all of you and others, right? Because I truly am at that point where I got nothing left to lose and absolutely everything to gain, right, by helping people. And my purpose in doing things is that, literally that, yeah? If it wasn't for the fact that I truly believe that this world can become a much better place, I would still very much be high as a kite on ice. It's the truth. I quit, and as I keep saying, this is no disrespect to the next person, but I have 8 different mental disorders and 7 physical ones, and I will be talking to my 2 doctors in the next 2 days about being tested for dyslexia. Oh, it's a fucking word I can't even say, but I'm almost guaranteed got it. And it's not just something I've decided to add myself. Graham pointed it out, and I've known it for years. I just thought it was an autism thing, because I thought dyslexia was just numbers, and was wrong. So go figure. And I smoked around the clock, yeah? So, I mean, when I decided this is it, I need to find a way to help myself, to understand myself, to help other people, I put the plan into place. And I literally just went to Google and I was like, hey, Google, how does ice affect me? What are the common things that cause people to like relapse, go back? But no, I just learned everything I could and put it into place. So that is why I will never ever let someone say to me that I'm an addict, though I really actually do need to make a video that solely probably explains all of my reasoning behind that, because one of the people I've met at uni, and she's one of the 3 that I mentioned that I really want to put effort into, because I think she's really amazing and bright and talented and all those things. And she was like, can I ask you a question? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I have a public storytelling website. I'm the most open person in the world. You can ask whatever you want. And she's like, I've never known an addict before. That's how she started whatever the sentence was. And at that time, I just replied the way I do with everything, not realizing that I don't really know this person, and given she literally started the sentence like that, she wouldn't know any better. But I was like, well, for starters, I'm definitely not an addict, so we'll put that one aside. I openly admit that I was addicted to ice and all the things that went with it. I could tell many, many, many stories of all the things that I've done through that. And I actually will be telling all of those stories, truth be told. It's just that I think the more stories from my past that are detailed are things I'm going to have to sort of think about a bit more, and probably won't be told until I'm done with uni. Not for any other reason. It's just that I've now been talking for, 47 minutes, and I really should be doing uni because I got up at lunchtime, right? But yeah, I just want to help people, and I truly know that I could do that through my ability to share, right? People are always opening up to me because I'm just so honest and so open and so just like, let's pick a topic, and I'm pretty sure I fucking dealt with stuff, like the list of things that I have gone through and go through just continue to grow. And it's a little frustrating in the sense that YouTube has all these character limits, because my About page, when I first started, listed everything, and it wasn't to be like, oh, look at me, feel sorry for me, I've got all these fucking bullshit illnesses. It wasn't ever about that. It was about, if you have any of these and any of these resonate with you, or you know anyone that has any of these, this might help you, Whereas I've updated it since, and I've had my own website for 2 years now, and I still really fucking don't know how to use all the behind the scenes of it. The people who do the customer support are the absolute best customer support people I think I've ever dealt with, ever. Another reason why all my stuff will just automatically update continuously. Maybe update's not the right word. Like renew. Like I'll never lose my domain names, yeah? But for example, on my website, I had to have the theme changed so that you could go to like particular days. So if you go to my website at lifesastory.blog, the main page will come up, which is my home page, and then it says archives, and you can go into it and see how many posts that are posted per month, right? Since then, I've had another page added, which, from what I can tell, if you click on it, it just takes you back to the main page, or it takes you to like an empty page, because I haven't haven't actually put information on it yet. I've talked to customer service. I've also asked if there's a way for people, myself and my followers and all of you wonderful people out there, to be able to search things, right? And I gave the customer service, the happiness engineers, the example of, I have written a blog about my tattoos, for example. I have no idea how to find it myself, so trying to help you will find it. We're all in the same boat, okay? According to these people, according to the happiness engineers, and like I said, best, most amazing support team I think I've ever dealt with, so at least that's something, because we all know how I feel about technology. So I am going to say I have started talking about my technology in a lot better way, and I think it's working. So that's something. And yes, right, so there is a way for me to add a search button, and apparently once I've figured out how to do that, you will be able to go and just type tattoo in, and it should bring you to whatever the different posts I've mentioned my tattoos in. Fingers crossed, that's as easy as that. I just have to actually figure out how to add it, and so far I think I have like 3 or 4 different videos to watch on how to do that, which now that I'm thinking about it would probably be really good reasons to have more hours in my day, because when I get up really late and then this happens, it's like, yeah, I'm good, I'm glad, I'm in a good mood, I'm not mad at myself, because that doesn't change anything. So I am winning in that regard, but I also have like a lot of schoolwork to do, and as much as I'm loving statistics, and I actually really am loving it, it's a lot of pausing and rewinding and like just going over things over and over and over again, because it's like really confusing, some of it. And I think I said it yesterday, some of it's really easy to understand while you're doing it, and then you go to like do like a practice quiz or a practice test or whatever it might be, and you're just like, I have no clue what I'm doing. So there's all of that. Now I'm at 52 minutes. I'm very aware I haven't finished the story about my second domain, possibly because I think I'm going to keep it to myself just for the moment, because it is a business idea. It is an idea that I think is going to be a really good one, if I say so myself. Graham definitely said there was a absolute market for it, but was like, I have no idea how you'd manage to find people or get it out there, to which I replied, I have no worries about that one, yeah, because once I start doing, like, once my uni stuff is over, I think things will change. Like, if you've been following me like for long enough, and if you get all the way to the end to this video, you'll see this, and like I don't tag things, I don't share, I don't do anything that gets my videos any more viewers than they are currently getting, okay? That I just don't do that. I want my degree, and I don't think that my websites or channel will interfere with it, but at the same time I'm also just being cautious, I guess, because people can misconstrue stuff, and I know this, but I am extremely proud of what I do, and the whole not sharing it with people, maybe people that I meet personally, and I mean, I don't even know, like, I just think putting rules on myself when it comes to this sort of stuff is really quite dumb. I literally gave the person in the glasses store who fixed my glasses and gave me these, the details. I gave the lady who did my bloods the details. My 2 uni friends that I just really adore, they're so much younger than me, but they're just so cool. They've got my websites. Faith is my website, and when I realized yesterday I had 7 new subscribers, I was so excited, right? That I sent the message to the 3 of them going, oh my god, I'm so happy, I've got 7 new subscribers, and they were all really stoked for me. But when it comes to the second domain, this business idea, it is a niche that isn't tapped into yet, as far as I'm aware, and even Graham agreed. And it all came about talking about sex. And most of you will know, and if you're new, I'm all sex positive, right? Consensual sex positive, porn, everything good, sex toys. I would love, love, love to be a sex toy ambassador. That's a definite goal. And we were having a conversation, and I will say, going back over my life, I can see where I've sought validation in men. I was that person who, right up until meeting Mr. X, didn't actually believe there was something better than having an orgasm, which I now find really ironic, because it turns out all the times I thought I was having an orgasm, or maybe I was, it wasn't really like a profoundly mind-altering, universal-altering kind of orgasm. Those have only happened with him and myself. But don't get me wrong, I orgasm really easily, so it's just different levels of it. Turns out there are different levels to lots of things in life. But this particular business idea that I have, I personally think could be a real winner. And since I don't really want someone to rip it off before I get it up off the ground, I think I might just keep it to myself for now and just say, I think a lot of you will really like it, and I'll be talking about sex a lot more. So there's that to look forward to. I'm at 56 minutes and 44 seconds, so I'm going to wrap this up because I have to do some schoolwork. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. And I think the outcome for today's little query within myself is that the next time boss wakes me up, at that time, I'm not going to avoid the wall. I'm not going to go back to bed. I'm going to get up and start remembering why I chose to get better, get healthier, get off ice, go to uni, and start living life. Because I know I can help people, and I know I can figure me out and help you and do it all in one by making these. And right now, my focus is to finish university. And I've been saying for a while, learning to be calmer, which is fantastic. Now, I definitely feel so much calmer in my everyday general life, just this shift that's taken place. I did start this by saying I am spiritual. I have known for a long time. I started fully opening myself up to it in 2016, and just I can see my path laid out in front of me, so to speak, and I know that I'm doing what I can. And yeah, I really need to get my website fixed so even I can search things. So I'm going to put that on my to-do list too. But for now, everyone, I just want to say happy Sunday. If you're going through things that you need support with, you are always welcome to comment on my posts. My email is listed on the About page, as is my website. Feel free to reach out, and I will respond in due time. Bye, everyone.